This is Nick from First Coast Math Clinic. In this video, we're going to talk about how do we subtract integers. We're going to come up with specific rules for subtracting integers, and then we're going to go through these 6 examples, and I'm going to show you how to subtract them using the rules that we come up with. So if you're struggling with subtracting integers, operations with integers, this is a good video to check out, okay? All right, let's get into it. All right, so numbers 1 and 2. Number 1, we've got 5 minus 9, and number 2, we've got 3 minus 6. So we're subtracting a smaller number minus a larger number, and I drew out our number line along the top with our integers graphed out, so we know our integers are just our positive and negative whole numbers. So I want to represent our subtraction on the number line. So let's start with 5 minus 9. So for 5 minus 9, I'm going to start at 5. And then we're going back 9 units. So I'll do this in red. So we're going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's minus 9. And we wind up at negative 4. So let's think, like we've got 5 and 9. What could we do to get that 4? Well, we could just subtract the two values as we normally would. We want the difference, 9 and 5, and get 4. And we know that we're subtracting smaller number minus larger number, so our answer has to be negative. All right, let's do the same thing here, 3 minus 6. So I'm going to clear this. Do this in blue to start, so 3. And then we're subtracting 6. So I'll do that in red. So we're going to go back 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's minus 6. All right. And we wind up at negative 3. All right. So how could we get, it's kind of ignoring the negative sign for right now. We've got 3 and 6. How could we get 3 back from 3 and 6? What can we do? Well, we could just take the difference between those two values. All right, we know the difference between 3 and 6 is going to be 3, and we know that we're subtracting a smaller number minus a larger number, so we're going to get a negative value, okay? All right, let's move on to subtracting positive and negative numbers. All right, so for examples like this, we're subtracting number 3, negative 2 minus negative 4. Number 4, positive 9 minus negative 2. So we're subtracting positive and negative numbers. So we need a specific rule that we're going to use when we do this subtraction. And it's easier to add integers, add positive and negative numbers, than it is to subtract them. So we're going to use what's called our subtraction rule. And using the subtraction rule, we actually change the operation to addition. So we do 3 things in our subtraction rule. First thing is we keep the first term. So I'm going to do this, as I write this out, I'm going to do this with number 3. So I'm going to keep the first term. So it's going to stay negative 2. Second thing, I'm going to change subtraction to addition. So this minus sign, that subtraction, is going to become a plus sign. Second thing or third thing, we're going to take the opposite of the second term. So our first term, we kept the same. The second term, we're taking the opposite of, right? So let's look at our second term. Let me highlight this. So our second term is right here, right? It's negative 4. I want the opposite of negative 4. Well, the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. So now I've changed negative 2 minus negative 4 to negative 2 plus 4. So now we could use our addition rule, right? And just reviewing, well, what's our addition rule? We're adding two numbers of opposite signs. I want the difference. So I want the difference between 2 and 4, which is 2. And I want to take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value, the number that's further from 0. So is that -2 or is that 4? Well, that's 4. 4 is further from 0 than -2, so my answer is going to stay positive, okay? We think about this in terms of kind of some manipulatives we've been working with. I've got two negative signs, and I've got 4 positive signs. The negatives and the positives cancel out, and we're left with 2 positives, okay? All right, so let's apply the subtraction rule to numbers 4, 5, and 6 and solve these problems, right? So number 4, we want to keep that first term, so the first term is going to stay positive 9. Subtraction is going to change to addition, so minus turns to plus, and take the opposite of the second term, so -2 becomes positive 2. So we have 9 plus 2, and we get 11. Number 5, keep the first term, so keep that 12. Change subtraction to addition, so the minus becomes plus. Take the opposite of the second term, so -13 becomes positive 13, and we get 25 for 12 plus 13. And number 6, keep the first term, so we're going to keep the -20. Change subtraction to addition. Take the opposite of the second term, so -7 is going to become positive 7. So we get -20 plus positive 7. So now we want the difference. Well, what's the difference between 20 and 7? The difference is 13. And which of these two numbers is further from 0? Is it -20 or is it the 7? Well, -20 is further from 0 than 7, so our answer is going to be negative. We should get -13 here, okay? Okay, so in this video, we went through subtracting smaller numbers minus larger numbers, and then the subtraction rule and rules for subtracting negative and positive numbers and two negative numbers and how to use the subtraction rule to do that. We went through 6 examples in total. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some comments regarding topics you guys would like to see videos made on. And check out the link for the video that's coming up at the end of this video on how to multiply and divide integers. This is Nick from First Coast Math Clinic.